Did you know that at this moment there are less than 10 flying cars in America? So how do you get from this pioneering stage to the point where thousands of flying cars are safely operating? I happen to have one of them, and the early pilots are spread all across the nation, so it's very unlikely that we'll bump into each other. But assuming that the China tariffs will eventually be lifted, a number of manufacturers are ramping up to deliver hundreds of flying cars into the American skies. As soon as this happens, well, standard precautions for safety will inevitably need to evolve. Well, let's explore. Ignoring the air taxi market for just a minute, let's look at the aircraft that don't require a pilot's license to fly. Those are the ultralights. They take off vertically, they fly around and land. Well, there are currently two protocols that the ultralight pilots follow for safety. The first one is see and avoid. Just like when you're driving your car, all drivers have a responsibility to see and avoid each other. You're not going to drive into a tree. Well, it's exactly the same in the skies. Every ultralight pilot simply doesn't fly into a tree. The second component is borrowed from aviation. Imagine when you have two aircraft approaching each other in the sky. If both aircraft simply just turn right, everyone will remain safe. But what happens when the skies start getting a little busier? Well, there's already technology to take the next step in safety. So let's borrow the next solution from general aviation. And that's where the transponder and something called ADS-B come into play. In admittedly oversimplified terms, every vehicle can potentially have a transmitter and a receiver. So your transmitter broadcasts your position out to other vehicles, and the other vehicle's receiver receives it, and it displays it on the navigation map. As long as everybody is looking at their dashboard map regularly, I can see you, you can see me, and we can see all the local air traffic. But what happens when air traffic gets heavier? Now we have some bigger issues. We need to add air traffic control to maintain a safe separation between aircraft. Plus, we also want to add radios so everybody can talk to each other. Now add all that up and you've got controlled airspace, which needs a lot of human attention to manage it. You still have the transmitters and the receivers, everybody's still broadcasting their position, but the air traffic controller calls you on the radio to tell you how high to fly, where to look for other aircraft, and when you can land. And you have to respond every single time. The whole air traffic control system relies on the assumptions that humans will always be paying attention on all sides. So what happens when someone isn't paying attention? How can we ensure all mistakes are recognized, counteracted, and averted, and that everyone remains safe as the traffic gets heavier? For now, it's easy. Consumer-level flying cars are simply not allowed in congested areas, and they need a special waiver to even enter controlled airspace. Flying cars just don't get to fly near cities. So the whole concept of urban travel is restricted to the air taxi category, which requires a pilot's license to fly. And you can bet they're going to be talking to air traffic control. But we will eventually hit a critical point in the next few years when consumer air traffic saturates the skies. Another safety technology borrowed from general aviation is called the Traffic Collision Avoidance System, or TCAS. It actively interrogates nearby aircraft transponders to detect traffic, then calculates their range, relative altitude, and projected flight path. If aircraft get too close, provides coordinated instructions like climb or descend to the pilots. The most important leap of the ascension into the skies is going to be something we call autofly. It doesn't even exist yet, but you can bet it's being developed behind closed doors. Autofly will likely harness a number of technologies, including lidar, which actively bounces light off everything in the local vicinity so it can sense objects around the vehicle. And get this, lidar can even see through objects. And another emerging technology is called real-time kinematic positioning, which provides accuracy down to inches, critical when you're navigating around tight corners. Autofly will inevitably develop quickly as an evolution from the existing auto drive systems. Not only will it utilize lidar, but it'll include a whole array of technologies, including GPS, cameras, ultrasonic sensors, all tied together with an AI brain that builds a 3D picture of your surroundings in real time right on your dashboard. And then it'll calculate the safest route. You won't even need a steering wheel. What the future looks like is you getting in your car and telling it to go to the airport. And the future auto-fly system will automatically calculate the quickest and safest route to get you there, while you talk to your friends on the phone, or text, or enjoy the view from above. Why not? Sounds nice. But when will this transition into auto-fly happen, you might be wondering? Well, that's a topic for another video. So subscribe, because I predict you won't want to miss it.